Welcome to Brain Booster. Have you ever wondered what it was like to be the last queen of the Macedonian dynasty ruling Egypt? Let's take a step back in time to the birth of Cleopatra, around 70 or 69 BCE. She was the daughter of King Ptolemy the Fourth Auletes, born into a dynasty that had ruled Egypt since the death of Alexander the Great. This line was founded by Alexander's general, Ptolemy, who became King Ptolemy the Soter of Egypt. Despite her Macedonian descent and little, if any, Egyptian blood, Cleopatra was the only one in her family who took the trouble to learn the Egyptian language. For political reasons, she styled herself as the new Isis, a powerful goddess in the Egyptian pantheon. This strategic move showed her early aptitude for leadership and politics, even as a young girl. And so, a queen was born, destined for power, controversy, and an iconic place in history. Imagine being thrust into a power struggle at the tender age of 18. This was the reality for Cleopatra upon the death of her father, King Ptolemy the Fourth Auletes. With her father's passing, the throne of Egypt was left to be claimed, sparking a fierce feud between Cleopatra and her younger brother, Ptolemy the Third. In adherence to Egyptian tradition, Cleopatra was forced to marry her younger brother, a decision that only further fueled the flames of conflict. As this sibling rivalry escalated into a full-blown civil war, Cleopatra found herself fleeing to the Roman-controlled Syria. But she was not one to accept defeat. From her exile, she sought the help of Julius Caesar, a prominent general and politician in Rome with ambitions of his own. Cleopatra, with her sharp wit and political savvy, saw in Caesar not just a potential ally, but an opportunity to regain her throne. In the midst of chaos, Cleopatra found an ally in Julius Caesar, a decision that would change the course of her life. Who would have thought that a queen in exile would become the lover of a would-be dictator? As fate would have it, Cleopatra sought refuge in Julius Caesar, a man of power and ambition, harboring his own dreams of becoming Rome's sole ruler. Their alliance was a pairing of convenience and, surprisingly, of genuine affection. It was Caesar who helped Cleopatra regain her throne, defeating her brother Ptolemy in the Battle of the Nile. Their relationship was not just political, but also personal. Cleopatra bore him a son, Caesarion, further solidifying their union. But as in any game of power, danger lurked in every corner. The Ides of March, 44 BCE, marked the brutal assassination of Caesar, a shocking event that sent ripples through the Roman world. Their alliance, both political and personal, ended with Caesar's brutal assassination, leaving Cleopatra in a vulnerable position once again. From one Roman general to another, Cleopatra found herself drawn into another powerful alliance. This time, it was Mark Antony who captured her heart and her political interests. Together, they reveled in the opulence of Egypt, their lives a swirl of lavish feasts and grand displays of wealth. Their union was more than just a love affair. It was a strategic move, a fusion of power that sent ripples through the Roman Empire. The fruit of their love, twins Alexander Helios and Cleopatra Selene, only served to strengthen their bond. Yet Antony, torn between his duties in Rome and his life in Egypt, found himself at a crossroads. He was a man divided, his loyalty to Rome waning under the allure of Cleopatra and the promise of power. However, their passion for each other would lead to their eventual downfall. Their love story, steeped in power and politics, would become one of history's most tragic tales. How does one of the most famous queens in history meet her end? In the final battle, Antony's troops were headed for total defeat. Seeing her kingdom collapsing, Cleopatra barricaded herself in her mausoleum and sent Antony a message that she was planning to end her life. Overwhelmed with grief, Antony took his own life, breathing his last in the arms of his beloved queen. The story of Cleopatra's own end remains shrouded in mystery. Legend tells us that she took her life with the help of a poisonous asp. Yet, there's no concrete proof of this, and the location of her final resting place remains unknown. Ancient Alexandria, where she spent much of her life, now lies mostly underwater, further obscuring the truth of her final days. Despite the uncertainties of her life and death, Cleopatra's legend lives on, captivating us even today. Her story, a tale of power, romance, and tragedy, continues to echo through the ages, reminding us of a queen who dared to rule.